So today's draft, the veteran players who should be most concerned about their team's draft on the most notice moving forward. You've got the trivia question to determine the first overall pick. Lay it on me.
All right, here we go. 3 rookie quarterbacks threw for at least 20 touchdown passes last year, Mike. Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, and Gardner the Ginsu Minshew, okay? Rank them in order from most touchdown passes to fewest touchdown passes. Again, Daniel Jones, Minshew, Kyler Murray, who had the most, who had the least, rank them.
This feels like a trick question. I'm going to go Murray, Minshew, Jones.
The exact opposite. It was Jones, Minshew, Murray. Yep.
See, trick question.
Trick question. It is. I mean, Murray was phenomenal. That's where stats can, trick you a little bit. And also, Daniel Jones, I think, was also phenomenal. I really do. And those are 3 quarterbacks. Well, 2, I'll say, that have a really, really bright future. I'm not sold on Minshew yet. We'll see. All right. So first pick to me, huh? I mean,
you can't do it. You won't do it. I'm glad I got the trivia question wrong because you will not. You cannot bring yourself to say the name in this context. You can't do it. I dare you to do it.
But I don't want to take Andy Dalton. Like, that's where I just feel like it's boring.
No,
okay?
He was already on notice. You don't know. Yeah, how is this sailing right over your head? Is it really?
Well, yes. I don't look at it like, you want me to say Aaron
Andy
Rodgers?
Dalton.
I
don't want you to. I want you to leave him on the board for me. That's the obvious
Fine,
number one
pick. I'll take him. I'm going to take him just because you wanted him.
I'm telling him.
Just because you wanted him.
Aaron,
no, you know what?
Can you believe?
Screw that. I don't want to do that. Erase that, Nicole, in the control room. I'm putting Tyrod Taylor on notice. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is on notice yet. I think he's got 3 years from now. Tyrod Taylor thought he was going to be the starting quarterback for the Los Angeles Chargers. We always say this every year. Oh, Sam Bradford will be the starter. We're just going to sit Carson Wentz on the sideline. Eli Manning will be the starter, and we'll just have Daniel Jones sit on the sideline. Yeah, right. Get out of here with that crap. You didn't draft these guys to be a top 10 quarterback unless you thought they were going to play. And what always happens in these kind of scenarios, the rookie top 10 quarterback, he's good in training camp, and then he shows some real glimmers of potential in the preseason. The fans clamor for him, and then the organization goes, well, why are we wasting our time? Let's just get him out there and get the new era moving. So, yeah, I think Tyrod Taylor's been put on more notice than anybody, where I think when all's said and done, Justin Herbert will be the quarterback of the Los Angeles Chargers to start the year.
I think Tyrod Taylor was already on notice. I think he was already on notice. I think we already knew that was baloney from the Chargers. The idea that, we're fine with Tyrod Taylor. No, you're not. And now Tyrod Taylor's in the same spot he was in 2 years ago, where he was the starter for like a blink of an eye until they got Baker Mayfield out onto the field to take over. So I think he already knew. I think we all already knew. He was already on notice. Aaron Rodgers was the stunner. That was the number one whoa moment of the draft. That was the I can't believe they did it. And they traded up to do it, to take Jordan Love. And then they twisted the knife on Friday night by not getting him a receiver. And then they twisted again on Saturday by not drafting a single receiver in any of the entire 7 rounds. Aaron Rodgers is on notice. He's on notice that he's not going to get to walk off into the sunset. He's not going to get to leave the Packers on his terms. He's going to have to earn it. He hasn't already earned the right to do it. He only will be the Packers quarterback until he's ready to retire if he earns it every day and if he holds off Jordan Love, and that puts him on notice. You are not going to glide into an easy, soft landing. You're not going to pull the train into the station. You're going to have to fight and scratch and claw every way and every step of the way to stay on the field. So I think it definitely puts him on notice, Chris, that he's not going to get that easy ending to his career. He's going to have to bring it, or he's going to be taking it somewhere else.
Well, I think you're right about that. I don't think it puts him on notice for the 2020 season or the 2021 season if I'm just going to sit here and be all lawyer on you and start arguing that. I don't. I mean, he's the starting quarterback for the next 2 years. They're not going to get out of the way of that. But you're right. In the big picture of things, after you get past the 2 years, all right, yes, he's going to have to earn it. You're right. And, he's going to have to do something like we saw Tom Brady do with Jimmy Garoppolo, which basically was kind of have a resurgence to his career to go play just one notch, one level higher, whatever we want to say, to where the team kept going, well, no, Jimmy's not as good as Tom. Jimmy's not as good as Tom. So I hear you there. I don't know if I necessarily believe that for right now, but he's certainly got something. He's got a hot poker warming up behind him.
He's on notice that he has to have big years this year and next year, or there won't be a 2022. He's got to earn it now. He's got to earn his
Green
future
Bay
now.
on notice.
He's on notice
to say,
for that.
I know. I'm just putting Green Bay on notice to say I noticed this draft pick and it's stupid. Okay. And he's been doing all those things for the last 10 years. So I want to go like, whoa, what has he done that thinks he's going to fall off anyway, like to that extent? So that's my argument there. But all right, here we go.
We got to move.
Marlon,
who's next?
Oh, yeah. Is it my pick or your pick? It's my pick.
It's your
Marlon
pick.
Mack.
It's your pick.
Marlon Mack has been put on notice up in Indianapolis. So, some of those second-round running back picks I thought were amazing. And, these teams, again, they didn't pick running backs in the second and third round because they thought, oh, man, our starters are so good, we don't need anybody else. No. Marlon Mack's a good running back. He's your backup running back. He's not the elite number one guy. And I know people are going to sit there and go, well, he ran for 1,000 yards last year. Again, I don't give a damn what he did. It's about what was there to be had. And Marlon Mack fell into that category of, ooh, he got 10-yard gain. That's nice, but really, really top-end running backs in football would have got 40 yards right there. So he's been put on notice because Jonathan Taylor, I think, is special and could be one of those guys that's in the conversation for leading the NFL in rushing this year.
Yeah, I think you're right. And this gets back to what we discussed last week, the idea that not all of these running backs who have done well on their rookie contracts are going to get a second contract from the team that they currently play for. And Marlon Mack, obviously now, if he gets paid, it's going to be somewhere else, barring some dramatic development, but both for him and for Jonathan Taylor, because Taylor is now the future. All right, Ryan Kerrigan's on obvious notice in Washington. Last year it was Montez Sweat. This year it's Chase Young. Kerrigan's entering the final year of his contract in Washington, a mainstay there for the last decade. He's done. This is it. He may not even make it. I don't know how much is guaranteed in this final contract. He may not make it to week one.
You're right.
He may be one of those guys who finds out, and chances are if he's in the last year of a veteran contract, there is no guarantee. There is no early trigger. It's that last year that gets thrown on there that nobody ever really expects he's going to play under anyway. It could be sometime mid to late August. They go to him and say, we think we're paying you too much. We want to pay you less. And if you don't accept it, we're just going to cut you. So he is on clear notice with Sweat and with Young. Kerrigan, one of the mainstays of that franchise, one of the only bright spots in a sea of dysfunction for the last 10 years. I think he's going to get run out the door, Chris.
Yeah, I agreed. I mean, I think we all saw this coming. Kerrigan's had a great career. He did fall off a little bit last year. And, Washington, that front four is special. When you talk about the two Alabama guys in the middle with Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne and now Sweat and Chase Young on the edge, holy cow, that is some special front four. So, all right, my third pick will be Michael Gallop of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sure he was sitting there going, man, this is great. I'm going to be the number 2 receiver this year. This is awesome. I'm so excited about it. And then he probably kept looking at that draft board going, damn, CeeDee Lamb's still there? CeeDee Lamb's still there? Oh, gosh. And I'm sure he had a little bit of a panic attack. And, yes, it came to fruition. CeeDee Lamb is going to be one of the go-to guys for that offense and relegate Michael Gallup to being the third option in the pass game now.
I thought about going in a different direction here, but since you went with Gallop from the Cowboys, I'm going to stay with the Cowboys, and I'm going to Amari Cooper, Chris, because that contract, when it was reported 5 years, $100 million, that was fluff on the back end. It's a 2-year, $40 million contract. He's got 2 years to prove that he's worthy to stick around and that he's better than CeeDee Lamb. And if CeeDee Lamb starts off his career well, you're going to get to a point in 2022 where it's cold, objective business decision. We can't justify continuing to pay Amari Cooper that much money when CeeDee Lamb, younger, cheaper, as good. We're going to keep him. We're going to invest the future in him, and we're going to squeeze Cooper. We're going to trade Cooper. We're going to get rid of Cooper. But this whole Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb thing may only last 2 seasons, and Cooper had better earn his contract, or he's only going to get the first 2 years of it, Chris.
Yeah, Mike, I don't think you're wrong in that logic, certainly. I mean, I would have liked to have seen a more creative pick instead of you piggybacking off of mine. But either way, that's okay.
I'm taking yours and making it better. Other names I had, James Conner in Pittsburgh, clearly on notice with Anthony McFarland there. Juju Smith-Schuster also on notice. Desean Jackson, they draft a receiver and they trade for a fast guy in Marquise Goodwin. I think Desean Jackson may be on the outs in Philly. And I was going to say Mark Ingram. I was going to pick Mark Ingram with J.K. Dobbins there in Baltimore, but I think Ingram welcomes that. He wants that.
I think so, too.
He doesn't want to be the guy, so it really doesn't put him on notice. It spreads the wealth.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.